the last one. Do you think, can reconciliation take place? You gave us many good things that need to be done for reconciliation. I see these as like ceremonies, you know, actions. But can that really bring the change that we need here and here with regards to decision making and utilizing of resources? We're a rich country. You know, Africa has the greatest resources in the world today. But yet you look around our continents, you see poverty, ignorance, disease. You go elsewhere in other countries where they don't yet have even 10% of our resources, and you see huge development. Look like Korea. Recently they were just as poverty-stricken as we were. But today, in less than 20, 30 years, they're 9th country in the world, or 8th. So, you know, when you talk about this nice rule of law and, you know, the rhetoric of politics and democracy, and you don't connect that to the character, the mind, the heart, the values, not just the book knowledge. Got a lot of beautiful politicians out there with high degrees and everything, but they're just simply, basically self-centered people seeking their own interests. So that's why I'm talking. If we talk about reconciliation in the true sense, is it possible in your opinion without dealing with this inner spiritual or moral factor in leadership? Because the common people, you can't expect them to change overnight. They're there. But the group that's up there, that 10, 20% that already have made it, they can make a difference in the lives of the majority that are below by the decisions they make when they are given that political power. Because political power is you're taking the power of the whole and giving it to 1 or 2 people. If they misuse it, then the whole suffers. So what do you think about
Mr. Commissioner, if I didn't think reconciliation would work, I wouldn't be here.
Okay.
I believe that as a people, we can reconcile. Now, you talked about what's happening in the West or other countries that have less resources than we have. How come they're developing and we cannot? Couple of reasons. One, generally, a human being is a human being. If you did not have certain rules and norms that govern your affairs, you probably would be like anybody else out there. But the reasons why people in the other part of the world appear to act differently from the way we behave is that they have developed institutions over the years. When you have a leader that is corrupt or that is bad, the institution is strong enough to throw him out or her out. The bad thing about our country is that all our politics have been built around personalities. As you have seen throughout our history, if you have a good president, Liberia, good things happen. If you have a bad president, bad things happen. It should not be that way. We should have developed, and now it is our challenge, the challenge of my generation, to develop the institutions in this country so that we can throw the bad people out. And it should not be said, as you said it, that we give all the power to the political leader. Under our system of government, we have 3 branches of government. Let me give you an example. Getting paid. Sometimes you may hear a legislator say, oh, I haven't gotten paid yet. And they want to blame the president. But the provision in the Constitution of Liberia is that the legislative branch of government, the first branch of government, they're the people who control the money, who are supposed to allocate and appropriate money. They're supposed to decide what money gets expended and what money doesn't. But because of the legacy that has been passed on to us, people do not realize that. So we have to make the effort for them to change. You see, because the example of the ordinary Liberian on the street, those of us who have been blessed with the benefit of Western education, those of us who have been blessed to have these positions, if we don't make the changes that are necessary, we run the risk of trouble. Because no human society is static. It's dynamic. It's going to change. Change is going to come about. Now we can allow the change to proceed through a peaceful democratic means, or the people out there, like they've done before, will take it over. So the thing is, we as Liberians must question ourselves, not just political leaders. I'd like for one to do a survey in Monrovia and say, give an example, you got 1,000 Liberians who got bachelor degrees, who earn a good salary, and ask them, how many of you belong to a political party? The vast majority, if they do belong, will tell you they belong to the ruling party. We do not believe that there is a need for us to develop the institution. So, you know what happened through party time, right? Every Liberian was a member of True Party. After True Party, NDPL came. Everybody, if you ask your daily people, will tell you, no, I'm not a member. But invariably, they were members. Either by their action or by their non-action. After NDPL, NPP. Even if they were not card-carrying member, they were finding some way to slip behind the back door to make a deal with the ruling party. Same thing happening today. Liberians want good things to happen, but we are not prepared to make the sacrifice for these things to happen. And they're not going to happen by chance. There have to be a few of us. I meet with the president and I say to her, I love you, you are my friend, but when you're wrong, you're wrong. And until we can have many more Liberians like that, who have no sinister motive, but all we want to do is make sure our country, you and myself been abroad for school. We know how the people run their country over there. We know we sat in classes with some of those same people. How come they do so much better than we? I see Liberians who in the States complying with the norms of the people country. Sure, they reach the rouse fee. You get one banana, take the peel and throw it outside the window. What happened? That wish we got in the country? No, because we haven't taken the time to build the institution and there is no sanction. If Charles Bromsky knew that he would be punished if he threw the banana peeling on the street, regardless of his status in Liberia, he would not throw it there.